what I'm starting to see some more is issues regarding to the ways that they cope with the things that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So I'm not super keen on working in regards to substance use or anything like that. Gambling, any of those addictive sort of behaviors, but one
Mm.
that thing that's coming up I find interesting that in school when I was studying and stuff like that, we didn't even touch on at all is pornography addiction or sex addiction, and that's a really prevalent thing. And now I'm like looking at friends and family in a different light, like maybe they were addicts, like, and we never like, oh man, like, hey, you keep one on him, like, you keep one next to him, or however you want to say it, right? Like,
Hmm.
just addicted to just people, just boom, treat them in, treat them out, treat them in. So working with those individuals in regard to that, because some people they get to a point in their lives and they're like, I'm isolated, I'm lonely, I'm not having relationships that are fulfilling.
Hmm.
They've sort of pushed other individuals out of the way in regards to romantic relationships or even other sorts of relationships, including family,
Yeah.
friends, and even their own children. In regards because of this particular challenge that they're faced with.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we have access to a lot more too, especially when you're talking about the pornography side.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we've never been accessed as much as we have now. I remember the way I grew up, it was the tapes.
Yeah,
Your,
yeah,
your your parents had the tapes. They probably put it under the bed or in the closet
yeah,
somewhere where where you're not supposed to watch it.
yeah,
And but now you just stream it from your phone, or a computer, so
yeah.
you have a lot more access. And I've
Mm-hmm.
had some interesting conversations about that. I actually think this goes to my other point we were saying a moment ago about being very open with your children.
Yeah.
Not that I've had it yet, but when it's time to start talking about sex, I want to be more of a well of information. Not that I know everything, but information that I have acquired and experiences I have had so far. Of course, again, age appropriate. But to say, because I don't want you thinking that you need to derive that information from porn, because
Mm-hmm.
that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
It's like wrestling. I remember when I was in middle school, I thought wrestling was real because you see people get hit with chairs and blood come out, and you're like, man, they really beating that guy down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some aspects of it that are real, but for the most part, it's all entertainment. It's theatrical, and that's no different, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
just we're seeing more intimate moments play out on screen, but it's still entertainment. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're judging your relationships or how they should look like based on fantasy esque, that would be like saying, my life should look like Tony Stark from Avengers. Like, come on,
Yeah.
that's not real for you. So she's not gonna be, Wonder Woman or Wanda or any other thing that you fantasize about. That's not real. I want you to be grounded in reality. This is how relationships actually look. This is what a healthy relationship can look like. And so being able to be more transparent, as uncomfortable as it may be, which again I haven't done it yet, so I'm sure there's going to be a level of discomfort for
Mhm.
me. It's important because that way they can get accurate information and not develop an unhealthy relationship. I'm not anti-porn at all,
Mhm.
but just like many things, I'm like, but you need to be reasonable on how much
Yeah,
you're consuming
moderation.
it. You need to be mindful of, is it inhibiting my way to perform the functions of my daily life? Is it impacting my relationships with, if I'm a man, I'm a straight man, with women? Those types of things, like being able to be considerate of all the different ways it might be affecting me, and if I'm having negative impacts, being willing to address it.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to talk about that stuff, so that way the kids can have a better sense of what that purpose it can serve, but
Mhm.
also not conflating the two. Not saying that this represents real relationships, so I want that. No, that's not real. And we need to make sure that we clarify that to the youth.